Maria, would you be happy to introduce yourself just before we start the presentation?
Yes, my name is Maria Ruiz Garcia. I come from Spain, as a matter of fact. Katie comes from the UK, and I am the head of the MSc Finance, Investment and Wealth Management. And we're going to be together today to explain to you the contents of this MSc.
Perfect. So I'm one of the admission managers here at the school. Just hello to those of you that are coming in now. Martinique, wow. See, we've got people mainly from France,
yes.
India.
I see someone from Burkina Faso.
Oh, amazing.
She's in France, but she comes from the Burkina Faso, yes.
Amazing, amazing. So it's really nice to meet you all. I think everybody's in. So
yes.
if you're ready, Maria, are you happy for us to start?
Yes, I think so. Okay. So we're going to start talking about NEOMA Business School. Katie?
Over to me. So for those of you that don't know NEOMA Business School, I'm just going to take you over some key figures and that might help you get to know us better, and also when making a decision when choosing which business school is right for you. So as you can see, we're very proud of this. NEOMA is part of the 1% of business schools around the world that are triple accredited. It's something that's really key for you to look at when choosing a business school, as it means that you have a guarantee on the quality of teaching that you'll have. What me and Maria obviously pointed out as well, 25% of our student body are international students that are not French, and a lot of the teaching staff, like Maria and myself, who work obviously as part of the staff of the school, we also come from different countries around the world, which makes a really nice international atmosphere on campus. We also have, as you can see on there, 200 major corporate partners, which is obviously going to be crucial for your future careers and your internships. And we have a huge alumni network that you will be able to rely on afterwards when seeking out your jobs and your internships as well. So for the rankings, the key questions, NEOMA, we're very proud to be very highly ranked in France. We're currently sitting in 6th position in the general rankings with l'Étudiant, and internationally we are 43rd. We were in 2019 for the Masters in Management in, of course, the renowned Financial Times. We are ranked 19th in The Economist, and in the prestigious Shanghai ranking, we have 2 very good rankings there as well. So from us that work here, we can assure you of how good we are as a school, and Maria is going to tell you just how great her program is as well.
Thank you, Katie. So let's turn now to the MSc Finance. Okay, so I am going to give you 4 good reasons to choose this program. The first good reason to choose this program would be to prepare the CFA certification, all the while earning your Master of Science in Finance. Now, do I have to explain what the CFA is?
Just in case if you don't mind, Maria, because I know often it's something that sounds great, but people actually don't know what it is or what it stands for.
Okay, so CFA stands for Chartered Financial Analyst in red. It is an American certification that gives you an amazing career boost and a head start ahead of everyone. And you know that 90% of persons that pass the CFA are professionals. So they study the CFA curriculum while working, 10 to 12 hours per day. Jobs in finance are very demanding. The professionals, they spend evenings, weekends, and holidays studying. So what we're offering you is the possibility to earn the CFA chart during your studies. So it is a lot better than doing it while working a very demanding job. So that would be my first reason. The second reason would be to participate in the CFA Institute Research Challenge and in the Bloomberg Challenge, and participation to these 2 challenges give you credits towards earning your degree. The third reason would be that you're going to be able to fine-tune your professional project by choosing between a comprehensive financial analysis track, which is the CFA track, or specializing in the real estate as a financial investment track, so more on that later. And then the fourth reason is just that you're going to become very skilled in one of the most attractive sectors in terms of job opportunities. And as you can see, we are in the university affiliation program for the CFA Institute.
That's a good point. Is there anything that students would benefit from because of this partnership with the CFA Institute?
Well, yes. As a matter of fact, if you are affiliated to the CFA Institute, you get scholarships. Every year, we get 25 scholarships for our students, and this is for the CFA registration fees, okay? There are scholarships for the CFA registration fees. So let's turn now to the curriculum. So I hope I'm going to make this clear, okay? So if you start in January here, okay, you start the CFA track. It means that from January to June, you're going to study the CFA Level 1 curriculum. So that encompasses ethics, economics, quantitative methods, equity and fixed income, portfolio manager, corporate finance, derivatives, and so on. Then in the fall semester, here we have a semester that is labeled Innovative in Finance and FinTech. So this semester, see, the CFA is, they have questions with multiple choice questions. So in this semester here, we do exactly the opposite. We do a lot of cases, we do projects, we do programming, for example. We teach our students to program in VBA and Python. We do sustainable finance. And then in the spring semester, okay, of the second year, students are going to prepare the CFA Level 2, again, CFA Level 2 curriculum. And then at last, they will turn toward the market and have a professional experience. So what happens if at the end of the first semester, for whichever reason, you decide the CFA is not for you? In that case, after the fall semester, which is a common semester between the real estate track and the CFA track, you will be able to attend the real estate and wealth management track. And of course, this is also a track, separate track, so you may also decide not to start in January, but to start in September, and then this is the admission for the real estate and wealth management track, which starts with the innovative finance and fintech semester, which is common to both tracks, and then moves on to the real estate and wealth management track.
So in effect, in a nutshell, one program, 3 different possibilities.
Yes, you could say it that way. Yes.
Nice.
Okay, so let me just explain a little bit more about both tracks. So the CFA track, let me remind you that it starts in January. Okay, so the key thing here is hard work. You need a lot of work and you need excellence to clear the CFA examination. But the thing is that if you provide that, you are, it's very probable that you will pass, you will clear the CFA Level 1 and CFA Level 2. We have excellent passing rates. CFA Level 1 passing rate for our students in the MSc Finance was 70% last year. And for CFA Level 2 was 67%. It's a little bit harder as you compare them to the world's passing rates, is 41% and 43%.
Yeah, and just to reiterate that, we're very, very proud of these passing rates because we're not just comparing to other schools in France, other business schools around the world. This is looking at the global statistics for the pass rates for everybody who has taken the CFA Level 1 and 2. And I guess we're really proud, and something that's quite key in the program, especially the CFA track, is that we're one of the only schools, I would say, that maybe really focuses on this as part of the modules. The preparation is key to that part of the MSc. And of course, we've been teaching the preparation at the school now for 13 years. So we have the experience to help students. And give
13 years. It's a long time. Yes. And I was there from the start.
Amazing.
So then now the real estate and wealth management track that begins in September. Okay. So the first thing, I have to clear up a misunderstanding. We're not talking about becoming a real estate agent. I am not talking about residential real estate. This is not about purchasing an apartment. This is about real estate as a financial investment. Wait a second, there you go. So real estate as a financial investment has great potential. Real estate is a booming sector. It recruits enormously, is a huge market. It requires very specific knowledge, which we can give you in the real estate and wealth management track. It has very specific regulations and law and taxation. Transactions are worth billions and trading is very significant. So these very specific, what we're going to do is that we're going to apply financial skills and financial techniques to the real estate sector. So in fact, it's real estate combined with finance. It's a sector that creates a lot of value.
And we've had experience in teaching this as a specialization for 5 years. Maria, yes. I've just had 2 really good questions actually regarding the 2 different tracks that have come up. So the first one is, how is it possible to take the CFA track but in September? Does it mean we'll miss the CFA level 1? So just to be clear, this is why in the slide before, and to be really clear on the start dates for these 2 different tracks, if you would like to follow the CFA track, it would mean that you're only able to join in January. Because we're working according to the scheduling of the certification when you need to pass the exams. So unfortunately, you would have to start in January. If you're to come and start with us in September, your option of the track would be the real estate and wealth management. And I'm just checking, is that clear with you, Maria? Did I explain that well?
Yes, I am just going to add something. If you can work, I don't know, 20 hours a day, you could start in September, attend Innovative Finance and FinTech, and at the same time study for the CFA level 1. Then you could have a chance to enter the CFA level 2 track here in January. But it's really difficult because the CFA level 1 is really demanding. Another possibility would be to study the CFA level 1 on your own and come to us with the CFA level 1 already cleared. Then you can start in September, but you need to have cleared the CFA level 1 before.
So I think that's perfect time, Maria, because the question actually came through from Pranav, who actually said, if someone has got the CFA 1 separately, they've cleared the test, that is possible then, like you say, to join in September and come into the CFA level 2 track. Exactly.
The answer is yes. If you have already cleared the CFA level 1 before coming to us, then it is possible to start in September and then switch to the CFA level 2 track in January. This is the exception. And that is the reason we don't have, an arrow that goes up to the CFA level 2 track. It's an exception.
Yeah. No, so like we say, if there's somebody that has got the CFA level 1 track, feel free to get in touch afterwards and we can explain the next steps for you to apply. Thank you, Maria, for clearing that up.
Yes. Shall I move on?
Yes, please do. I think we're great to move on.
Okay, so program highlights. I'm going to go into both tracks. So the CFA track, in the CFA track, we have a double degree with the University of San Diego in California. So you would get to go to California in the last semester of the CFA level 2 track. Of course, not everybody gets to go. It's really difficult. And one of the must conditions is that you have to have cleared CFA level 1 before, and of course have very, very, very good grades, very few spots to go to California. As for the real estate and wealth management track, this track is powered with PricewaterhouseCoopers. We have professionals, managers and partners come and teach students from January to June, and we have a project, a transversal project that is engineered by PricewaterhouseCoopers. May I remind you that it's one of the big 4, and this project, students get to go to Luxembourg to defend the final project in front of a panel of partners and managers.
Amazing.
Okay.
I can see, Maria, we've got somebody with their hand up.
Yes.
Ale, would you like to ask your question? Are you feeling brave to ask your question out loud?
Yes.
Ale, we'll see if we can unmute your microphone.
Yes.
Here we go. LA, would you like to ask your question? Sorry, I hope I'm saying your name correctly. You've got your hand up? No? We changed our mind. We'll come back to you in a minute, LA. If you want to just drop us a question, if you're still feeling okay, you've got your hand up for the time being. Should we move on to admissions and then we'll go back to the question?
Yes, okay. First, careers and perspectives and jobs, possible jobs. Oh, so just a second, I'm configuring my mic. That's the answer to, do you want to speak the question out loud? So anyway, which jobs after the MSc? So, for a comprehensive view of the jobs after the MSc, especially for the CFA track, you may just visit the cfainstitute.com webpage. Anyway, they will tell you that you may become a portfolio manager, anything to do with asset management, really. They have 25% of the candidates that become research analysts, whether it's equity research analyst or fixed income research analyst, transactions. And then specifically for the real estate and wealth management track, you may become a project manager, a real estate fund manager, a developer, a real estate transactions engineer. Okay, so that's it for the jobs. Okay. So now we're going to move on to admissions, and now it's Katie.
Back to me. So as I said, I'm one of the admission managers here. So just to explain, if this program does sound of interest, how you can apply. So the first thing to remember, like we've said, there are 2 intakes. So your first choice is to select what your priorities are in terms of your, should we say, professional project, your career ambitions. What would you like to do? So you can apply from now for both intakes. So the January intake would be the 24-month option for the CFA track, and the September intake is for the real estate and wealth management track. Mm-hmm. Once you know which program to apply for, this is where you need to kind of do your online application. So it's not necessarily obligatory for you to have a big finance background in order to integrate the program, but you must show some kind of understanding and, like we say, an appetite for finance, because you need to be passionate and we need the hard work from you, especially with the CFA track, because you need to put the work in, I'm sure. And as we say underneath, to give you a bit of a heads up, for the CFA track, there would be an additional entrance test online. And this is to make sure it's a great thing, because we're giving you that head start on readings that will be required, and it gives you a taste of the type of preparation and work required for these certifications. So please see it as a positive, but the programs and getting involved in the program is an investment in itself. And we want you to be sure that this is definitely what you want to do to carry on forward. But for the rest, you need normally a 4-year bachelor's degree, and you need to be able to prove your English level. So if you haven't studied in English previously, the school will offer you a free English test in order to complete your application. So we do our best to help where we can. You are able to apply via the website here online, but it's a nice slide here just to sum up. So the 18-month program, which includes both of these tracks, includes 6 months of professional experience. So the 18-month would be starting in September for the real estate and wealth management, and the 24-month track would be when you start in January to follow the CFA preparation. Both, like we say, 6 months professional work experience, which will look fantastic on your CV, especially along with the certifications for the CFA 1 and 2. But if you do have any other questions, we see some have been raised, please feel free to get in touch with the whole admissions managers team. This is all of us that help you apply for the program and can help check your eligibility and explain the program in more detail. So don't hesitate to get in touch. But we will come back to those of you now who've got your hands raised, who wanted to ask questions, so that you can go through that in more detail. Okay, so we know that Ravi asked a question that was quite specific. Ravi, would you like to ask your question directly, or would you like me to read your question out? I don't know, he's not got his hand up. So Ravi, if you don't mind, I will read out your question and see if Maria can help advise us a bit more.
Yes.
So Ravi has said, I'm currently 33 I'm not sure. Oh, sorry, it's just someone else just typed a question. I'm not sure that employers will pay to such senior guys for fulfilling their finance positions. I hold chartered accountancy from India with 7 years work experience. What's your views in terms of hiring such a candidate in France? Should we both have a go at this?
I mean, you're already a CPA in India that carries a lot of weight, and you have a 7-year experience, did you say?
It's 7 years here, yeah, in India.
Yes, that sounds really great for me. Really great. That's all I can say. I think you're a very worthy candidate.
So, and in France as well, the key thing here, I see in your question, you've said, what's your view in terms of hiring such candidates in France? There is an option you'll see with the professional work experience. Yes. Maria, you will know better than me in regards to the internationalization of finance companies. But often to find a job in France, what is also key is to try and master the French language as well.
Yes, I was just going to say that, Katie. If you want to work in France, it means that you will have to have a working knowledge of French. So we do offer French classes at NEOMA Business School. For the three, if you, for example, are attempting the CFA track, you will be able to have French classes for the 3 semesters. So that's a possibility. But it is true that many of the foreign students, they either go to London to work or back to their country. It depends. It depends. Some of them stay. Some of them stay.
So it's important to consider that. And it's the same. Yes. If I don't speak Italian, if I was to go to Italy, yes. It's important, obviously, to have a good level of English to work in finance. But obviously, your country of residency, it's great to be able to master their national language too. But Ravi also had a second part to his question. What percentage of students get a chance to visit California, would you say, on average?
Yes, this is a new double degree. So we've just had it for 1 year. So last year, we only had 1 student who went there out of 50 students in the CFA Level 2 track. So not a lot. It's a very selective option, very select option.
Perfect. Well, we hope that answers your questions, Ravi.
Yes.
Now we're going to try again with Ale. I know you tried to have your hand up before. Would you like to try and ask your question again? Is your microphone working?
Hello, can you hear me?
Hello.
Yes, we can hear you. We're happy to have someone speak as well.
Very nice. So, hello, Miss Fish. Hello, Miss Garcia.
Hello.
Thank you very much for organizing this webinar.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's just it's cut out a bit.
I have a question. I'm really interested in learning. Can you hear me now?
I think it's back now. Yeah, we'll try again.
Yeah. I think I'm having connection issues.
Ale, would you like to type your question? I'm so sorry. It keeps cutting out on the microphone. I don't know if you can hear Maria.
I can't hear.
You can't hear.
I cannot.
Would you be happy to type your question?
Yes.
And then we'll read that out. I'm so sorry that we can't hear you.
I can see another question, Katie. I got a doubt how 2-year MIM work with the CFA track. Can I answer that?
Of course you can.
Okay. Then if you want to attend the MIM, so that's the International Master in Management, you can attempt MIM. It means you will do a 2-year Master in Management, but you still have to pass the entrance examination for the CFA track. The CFA track is embedded in the MSc Finance, but also in the MIM. So if you want to go for the MIM, you would start in September and you would do 2 years. But before being accepted in the CFA track, you have to go through the entrance exam. The entrance exam is online. You can pass it from now. I already have candidates passing it. So that's not a problem.
That's completely possible. Amazing.
Yes.
I've been told that Pranav also had another question. And you've got your hand raised, Pranav. Would you like to ask your question? Can we unmute Pranav?
Hello.
Oh, perfect.
Hi.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yes.
Great. Would you like to ask your question?
Thank you for giving me the opportunity. I just want to ask this question that how this program is different from CFA. Like this program has given a lot of emphasis on CFA track. So what we learn extra from other than the CFA? Is there any extra course or anything extra learning out from this track? Thank you very much.
Okay. So that's an excellent question, because since the presentation was a little bit short, I didn't have enough time, to explain how much better this program is. So in the first semester, from January to June, so I am talking about the CFA track, obviously, from January to June, you have all the subjects pertaining to the CFA level 1. You also have a couple of additional subjects, namely, for example, you have mock exam training, which is going to help you and to train you and to coach you. We coach you into succeeding the CFA level 1. In September, we have the fall semester, in which we have every single subject that we deem important and that is not tested by the CFA level 2. And at the same time, we start 2 projects. One of the projects is writing a research note, an equity research note. I know we did it in Hermes last year, the company Hermes, the luxury group. And then we have another project, which is an asset management project, which has 3 steps. Step number 1 would be doing an IPS, an investment policy statement. So that is about return and risk profile and the constraints of the investors. The second step would be analyzing the market, doing capital market expectations and a strategic asset allocation. It means that according to the profile of your investor, you need to decide in which asset classes you're going to invest the money. And then step number 3 would be, after 10 years, calculate portfolio performance, volatility, and so on. So we have 2 transversal projects that address the 2 main jobs that you can aim for after the MSc, which is portfolio manager and research. Research.
Perfect. Does that answer your question? Pranav, are we happy with that response? Okay. Silence is a good yes.
Anyway, also in the fall semester, we have again all of the subjects that the CFA does not encompass. So I talked about programming, VBA and Python. I spoke about behavioral finance that you will see in your CFA level 3. I talked about sustainable finance and of course, FinTech. And I'm reading the answer. Thank you for the answer. You're welcome. And for the CFA entrance exam, any specific topics need to be prepared? Yes. For you to get to know the topics, you would first have to pass an online interview and answer a few questions. Once you have been cleared of this first step, you will move on to the entrance exam. So we will provide you with the topics. This year we have 3 readings. Readings is chapter in CFA vocabulary. So you will have 3 chapters. We will give you the materials. We will give you practice questions, and we will also give you 1 month to prepare. And after 1 month, you attempt the examination.
Sounds good. Great.
It's not, I'm just sorry, Katie.
No, go.
It is not specifically difficult, the entrance exam, but it is essential. This exam, entrance exam, is essential. Why? Because some candidates come in here and they want to do the CFA, and they don't really realize what it is. So this entrance exam gives them a chance, as Katie said, to fully see what the CFA is, and second, can they do it? Okay, they test themselves, and then it gives them a head start.
Which is really important.
Yes.
We've got 3 questions for you, Maria, from Ali, who was trying to ask his question before, so I'll do it one by one.
Go ahead.
So the first part of the question was, do you have création de valeur or valuation programs? Are there any modules? Would you be able to clarify?
You mean a class about value creation?
I think maybe so. Ale, would you like to just confirm what you mean by that question, please? Could you provide us with a bit more detail? But the second part of the question was, what is or what programs do you teach alongside your program? It's interesting because I come from a business intelligence background and I have 6 months experience working in Michelin in the financial domain.
Right. Okay. So as I understand the question, you are asking if we have any courses on value creation. Yes, of course.
That's what, yes.
I think that's the question. So we have a class, for example, we have a class called financial modeling, which is in the fall semester, in which we use advanced Excel to simulate LBOs, simulate, I don't know, leasing and valuation of companies, for example. So if that was the question, then definitely yes. In the CFA track, we also have classes about valuing a company, and also in the real estate and wealth management track, because this MSc is about creating value from a financial point of view and how this interlinks with the strategy of the company. So yes. And then the second part of the question was?
It was about the modules. I'm trying to just get back. Sorry, I had quite a few questions. Basically, what programs do you teach alongside your program?
What other programs do I teach? Well, I teach in the IMLUX program, that is International Management of Luxury. And I also teach in the MSAFI, that would be in French, the Master d'Analyse Financière Internationale in Paris, for example. But it is true that 80% of my classes are in the MSc Finance now. It is my baby, and I am devoted to making my students succeed. So mostly the MSc Finance.
Exactly. So I don't know, Ale, could you just confirm for us that that answers your questions and that we've correctly understood your questions? But just going back to a point that you made, Maria, that was really interesting.
Yes.
We were saying about how difficult the CFA is and how much dedication is required and commitment. Would you say it's essential to have a strong background then in finance, or to have worked in the industry or have experience in order to pass these certifications?
It is important to have a background in finance, but I would even say you need an appetite for finance. But the CFA in itself, it is very comprehensive and it starts almost from scratch. What is important is to have a background in finance, a culture in finance, but the CFA will give you anything you need. I once had a student that came from a literary background and she made it.
So it is possible if you
It is possible. It is possible. You don't have to do a whiz in mathematics either. You just have to like mathematics, but you don't need a very, very strong background in mathematics. Remember, this is about financial analysis and portfolio management. It's not, it's not all mathematics.
Amazing. I'm sorry, we've just had clarification as well from Ale regarding his question before. He was asking about IS courses or software courses that might be taught alongside, because he comes from a business intelligence background.
Right. So the 3 softwares that we use and that we teach to the students and that we implement in our classes are, it's in fact languages, programming languages. I think that's what you mean. So we teach VBA in the fall. We teach Python in the fall. Python is a very complex course because the teacher that we have, which is an amazing teacher, is Antoine. He insists that the students sit, it's not an examination, it's a project to evaluate them, and it's an academic paper. They have to mimic an academic paper. And then we have a financial modeling class, which is really advanced Excel, which interlinks with VBA. So those are the 3 softwares that we're going to use in the MSc.
Amazing. That's fantastic. No, I think we've got it there. I think we've understood the question there.
Yes. We have a very brief introduction to AIR, which is another language, in the spring semester, in the CFA level 2, but very brief.
Amazing.
Yes.
I'm just going, we said thank you so much. So I think we've got it. I think we've answered that one correctly.
Okay, great.
Just to let you all know, all of you attending the webinar, we've got about 5 minutes left before we need to say goodbye. So if you do have your last questions, please can you pop them into the box now. In terms of applying, you'll see that we've also just put in there the link to apply. There will be an application fee waiver for those that need it. It's Zoom 2020. So if you do want to apply for this program, there is no worries there whatsoever. Maria, will there be a final dissertation for both of these tracks?
Yes, there will be a short final dissertation, yes, which is an academic work in which you have to use academic papers, research papers, as well as professional sources. I see another question, is if I can provide more insights for the real estate and wealth management track. Yes, I can. The fall semester, so the real estate and wealth management track starts in September. The fall semester is the same for both tracks. It means that the real estate and wealth management track will also attend financial modeling, behavioral finance, sustainable finance, Python classes, VBA, advanced Excel, and I'm forgetting something, yes, and FinTech. There is a comprehensive list of courses on the website at NEOMA, on the NEOMA website, sorry, so you might want to check that. And then in the second semester, real estate and wealth management, I would say it's 50-50. 50% classes which are going to be wealth management, asset management, finance. So I can cite derivatives and alternative investments, or corporate finance, advanced corporate finance. You would also have portfolio management, risk and portfolio management. And then the other 50 would be financial skills applied to real estate, and then specific courses on real estate. So for example, what we're going to base these courses on is RICS, check it out, are regulations for the real estate sector. And these courses are, for example, real estate law and taxation. Yes, you need that if you want to become a real estate fund manager. You're also going to have real estate valuation, which again is finance plus real estate, is financial skills applied to real estate. And then you have, yes, insight on the real estate industry, for example.
Amazing.
Yes, I hope it's clear.
That was definitely clear. So there's 2 questions there that we've got left. We're probably only going to have time for one.
Yes.
We'll see how quick we can get through them, Maria. Alaya's just said, one last question. What is the average background experience of your students? I'm asking because he feels this is important in group projects during the study period, as it plays an important role. Would you say they've got an average 6 months work experience, maybe?
That would be a minimum, yes, but no more, okay? Because this MSc also have French students from the NEOMA Business School, and they will not have, some of them will have in between 6 and then in between 6 and 2 years, 6 months and 2 years experience. So yes, 6 months is the minimum. That's it.
And we'll do this very last question before we go. Ravi has just asked what value addition one can get by studying the CFA Level 1 offered in this course and by studying alone and directly entering in September for Level 2.
Well, CFA Level 1 is difficult. And what we provide is an almost certainty of success, because you will be in a working environment. You will be dedicated only to the CFA Level 1. Again, you can study alone, but in this program, we provide group studying, we provide mock training, we provide coaching. Someone is going to be there to debrief practice exams with you. We will discover alongside with you all the traps of the CFA. You know, they ask questions in a very, very, very specific way. And it provides energy. See, from my experience, I've been teaching in the CFA track for 13 years. And in January, they all start really energetic and motivated. And then around February, there is, a drop in motivation. That's why the others are there for you. And the teachers, they're going to, bring you back on course, in fact.
Amazing.
So that would be a value added. Yes.
We saw the statistics in comparison with the world. The support at NEOMA Business School meant that 70% passed, whereas in comparison to the world that were taking it on their own, it was 41%. So like we said, the preparation, we're not too bad at that. But I'm really sorry, guys. We've come to the end of the webinar. I can see there may have been the odd question we've not got to. We've just put in the chat all of our contact details. Please feel free to get in touch if there's anything you feel we've not answered. We'd be more than happy to help you with your questions.
Yes, and if you have any specific question about the curriculum or the tracks, please don't hesitate to email me.
It's amazing. Thank you so much, Maria. Thank you, everybody, for coming.
So join us if you can and if you want.
Thank you so much, guys.
Thank you so much. Bye-bye.